Welcome to the Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour, the state's richest tournament fishing event. I'm Chip Lear.
And I'm Tommy Scarless. And folks, this is the event that we've all been waiting for, the Tournament of Champions here on beautiful Lake Minnetonka.
These anglers have worked all year for these final 2 days, Tommy, and we're in for a show.
They've waited a long time, and you need to wait too, because we've got some awesome action coming up.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is brought to you by Sept, the Minnesota State Lottery, Cape Band, and Ranger Boats. We're at the championship. There's 40 pro anglers and 40 amateur anglers. All year I've wanted to get to the finals, and I'm here. I'm excited.
And my goal was to make the championship on Minnetonka, which is my home water, and here I am. This is it. This is it. You got to get here.
This is definitely going to be a tough one. You got the top 40 guys here in Minnesota. This is Lake Minnetonka. A lot of guys spend a lot of time on this lake.
I've been fishing it probably 6-7 years, and it's where I learned how to bass fish.
Lake Minnetonka is by far one of the top 5 largemouth fisheries in the nation. You know, I fished a lot around the country, and there's no better lake for the size.
This lake gives up some big fish. I mean, it's probably one of the best lakes in the state of Minnesota for giving up 5-pound fish consistently.
I'm going to go for the big fish this time, because you got to go for broke. There's no points involved in this one, and you just got to go for the big one.
Minnetonka is going to be an interesting body of water this time of year.
Fall fishing on Minnetonka can be tough. One day you're a hero, the next day you're a chump.
You know, you can see the leaves are falling off the trees as we speak. You know, fall is here, and this time of the year, it's a real bad transition time. In the summertime, they congregate on the deep points, deep rock piles, which is an easy way to catch them. But now that it's fall, you know, the fish tend to, you know, get ready for winter. And what they do is they get up on top of the weed flats, and then they also get real shallow on the bank.
As a tournament angler, you got to let the fish tell you what to do. And on this lake, that can be anything from fishing boat docks, lily pads, inside weed lines, flipping milfoil, deep cranking, roller jigs on the rocks, Carolina rig. There's so many different things you can do out here to catch fish.
I still got the butterflies. I got the butterflies right now. I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, it's 8 hours of fishing, and you're going to have 8 hours of fun.
For me to win this championship, I would feel like it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. It's just exciting to be here.
Motors off, boys!
Let's have a good, safe tournament out there, boys.
Morning. Ready to go.
We want to hit as many spots as we can, as fast as we can here in the morning, because the morning bite has been the key bite. I'm hoping to put 3-4 big fish in the boat right away, and then mellow out and work my plan the rest of the day.
First flight, we'll be going out at 6:50. That's definitely harassing fast.
When it comes to making up your mind where you're going to start out, has to do with time on the water and practice. You know, they give us a couple days to practice. Oh, there's a good one. Get the net. Hey, ready? Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. All right. Go ahead. Not very big, but you can start. Come on, big guys, where are you? As a rule, dock fish on Minnetonka are generally better once the sun comes out a little bit more. The fish will start moving back in for the cover. However, in the fall, they tend to kind of live in those areas. Well, fishing in any pro-am event is a blast, because you're fishing with a lot of different people. You get to share some knowledge, you get to learn things. I think you think you're too smart to learn something, you're not nearly as smart as you wish.
worm seems to be most subtle presentation, and the fish that I've caught are really wanting that subtle, slow presentation. It's just fun. It's a great camaraderie. Come out here and fish with everybody. You get off the lake, you talk about it, you lie about it. It's a good time. In a 2-day tournament, you got quite a few spots, and sometimes you do want to kind of save some fish. If you got some fish, you know they're going to give you a decent bag. But it's real tough fishing. I mean, the fish are kind of scattered. They're kind of in transition for their fall movement here. And we're getting one here, one there. We're not getting schooling fish. It's kind of a run and gun to hit as many spots as possible.
We're here watching Angler of the Year Dean Capper. Big time problem though, this fog is set in. Most of the anglers have GPS coordinates on their spots, but to spot on the spot, pinpoint dissection of that area, they need to see some landmarks in order to line themselves up. Dean's hoping the fog lifts, and as it does, so should his weight.
We're pretty excited. We got a fog coming in. It's just kind of neat out here when it's foggy like this, you know. That's Tonka, all right? That's what Tonka does for you.
Lake Minnetonka is probably the only lake that we fish in the tour that really has Eurasian milfoil in it. And it's a pretty unique plant. It grows off the bottom. It'll grow 12, 14 feet tall, kind of comes up and canopies over. And the bass live underneath that canopy. So what we're doing is throwing the heavier jigs on top of it and letting it flutter down through the grass. And the bass habitat is right underneath it. It's an awesome for a fishery because the bait fish and the minnows and the sunfish, they just love it. And of course that draws the big predator fish in.
On sunny days, they're usually deeper in the foil, but on like a cloudy day or a foggy day like this morning, you can get them on top of the foil. Throw in top water like buzz baits, and there's a fish. Or you just going along the edges of it. I guess that works too.
You can have 20 pounds, 20, 22, you're still in the game. I mean, you're still in the hunt. At least for now, all we need is to get one or two fish. And it seems so easy. 2 hours to get one good fish, but it can be one of the most difficult things we've ever done.
Oh, there's a good one. You know, most of them are in the, you know, that's a good 3 1/4 pound fish, and we got 5 of them. And hopefully, with this last spot, we get 3 more big ones, and you know, we'll be sitting good for the first 8. It's going to take about a 3-pound average to win this thing.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is brought to you by Star Tribune, Fox Sports Net North, Yamaha Motor Corporation, and Media Rare Incorporated. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, because those are bass that make champions. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear a big round of applause for your reigning 2001 Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour Angler of the Year, Dean Capra. 20.82 is leading. You, Dean, 20.89, your new tournament leader.
From Victoria, Minnesota, this is Chris Luedtke, and he's leading it with 22.54 pounds. Wow.
Now we've got coming up, no stranger to Lake Minnetonka, Brad Leiperman. Bradley going to be at 20.67. Excellent weight, ladies and gentlemen. His second year as a pro on the tour. John Schlave, you're going to come in at 21.96 pounds.
This is a man that won a tournament this year on Lake Vermilion, 23.71.
Let's give a big round of applause for your new current tournament leader, Brad Klein. Let's bring him up and welcome from Brainerd, Minnesota, Mr. Brian Brown. Currently, Brad Klein's leading with 23.71 pounds. Brian, you are sneaking your way, and you're going to sneak your way into the lead with 28.72 pounds.
Chip, This is turning out to be a classic battle.
Oh, what a battle it has turned into. But after day one, it's looking like beat Brian Brown.
But the great thing about this is he's got the likes of Chris Luedtke, Dean Capper, both past anglers of the year, breathing right down to the back of his neck.
John Schlay's in the running, and so is Brad Klein.
And consistency could overcome a big first day wait.
I'm leading it after day one. This is just an awesome day on Lake Minnetonka. I'm gonna have to get some more bites. I had very few bites today. Tomorrow's gonna be even a tougher day.
I'm getting about 12 to 14 bites a day. And if I can get about 14 bites, I think I should have about a 20-pound bag out. We had so much fun. We caught a lot of fish today. And to be in this position, you know, third place, yeah, we're 6 pounds out of the lead, but, you know, tomorrow's another day.
Two-day tournament plays into my favor because I have had an awful lot of experience on this lake, and I think I can put a limit together when almost nobody else can.
I'm gonna have to have at least 20, 22 pounds again tomorrow to pull this thing off. And there's some tough guys behind me.
So I'm hoping for a tough fight tomorrow. If it is, I think I can take home the new Ranger.
All right.
It feels good to get the first one on the boat. It's a smaller one. It looks like it'll be a keeper, but it's not the 3-pounders that were here yesterday.
Get them right.
Hope so.
These boat channels are what we've been fishing. I fished here yesterday and had 6 good quality fish. And in the fall, these fish start migrating between the lakes.
All right.
And this is a good stopping area. There's food in here for them, a nice resting spot. In fact, the boat traffic can help you sometimes and sometimes hurt you. As the boats go through, they'll churn up the bottom and move the water around, make current go through, and that gets the bait fish mixed up.
Sometimes they'll watch the bait fish up against these walls, and that's what these bass are waiting for. So any kind of wave movement, or if you got wind, or the wake from the motors of other boats, you know, sometimes that helps.
And then there's other times when the fishing's tough. As they go through and they muddy up the water, it can make it tougher for you. And there's fish. Good one. Good one. Get the net. Get the net. That's a better start. That fish, I hope, is my small fish when I go in. I want 3-pound fish is what we're going to need to stay right there at the top. Little guy. Little guy.
Go tell your mama I'm coming to get her. This is the boss. Nice one, Andrew. Sweet baby. Yeah, boy. All right. Yes, nice job. That's what we came here for.
Basically, all I did is slide it off the coontail. It was just a pickup. It wasn't a big hit. It was dead weight, except the hook, and he was there. So
I got a bass. Get mine in. It's not that big, but it's exciting to get a fish in today. They're something to start the day with.
Anglers don't make it to this level of competition without paying attention to detail. Keith Icarella, right behind us now, is one of those anglers. Keith has found himself on a milfoil edge against some rock. He has located some very sizable bass. Casting his jig up and rolling it right along that milfoil edge where the rock meets those weeds. There's some big fish in there so far, 2 3-pounders.
We've been getting our fish. They're real scattered. We pick one up here and there. The ones we do seem to get are quality fish. It just takes a while to get them. We gotta weed through a few smaller fish, and now we're looking for one more big one off this spot. If we could do it, that would be great. Got a few other spots around the lake. He hit it. The big ones are slamming it hard. It was in between the rocks and the scum. It's really kind of a big chess game. You know, the guy gets right down to it. That guy's got to come up with enough spots, and hopefully he's got a good enough pattern where
It'll hold for 2 days. And this time of year, the weather's iffy. I mean, the weather can change. We're calling for some rain this afternoon.
All I know is that it's getting pretty wet. I had to take cover with this big blow coming through. I mean, see, it is pouring.
Usually in the rain, I like to throw top water like buzz baits or pop bars or something, because the fish usually come up in the water column. They're not stuck down in, necessarily located on structure. They roam a little bit more.
Oh no, it's a toothy critter. Oh well. Should have known. Should have known. Wrong species.
The rain is rather interesting because the hard thing is your hands get soaked, and when it's a little cold like this, you can hardly use your fingers. Why do we do this? That's a good question, because we asking ourselves that just a little while ago. What the facts are, we love the sport.
The Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour is brought to you by Starcraft Pontoon, Minnesota Office of Tourism, and Friendly Chevrolet.
Well, what we've been able to do is assemble some of the top 40 anglers with the Minnesota Pro Bass Tour that are going to be here on Minnetonka, and they volunteered to give some time back to the local community and take some of the young, inspiring anglers out on the water today for a learning experience.
The aggressive ones will chase the spinner baits, but the more sluggish ones, hopefully we can get to bite the jigs. It's really a great experience to be able to try and teach somebody the sport that I love so much. It's just a great activity to participate in, and we help get somebody started, and it's a great opportunity.
These guys are both about the same age as when I started. I was 16 when I started kind of getting my feet wet in bass fishing and really got hooked on the tournament scene and stuff. So it's cool to be in the boat and see somebody else who has the same passion for what you do and get them even more involved in the fishing industry.
Normally you went for quite a quarter.
That's an experience that I know if I was 10 years old or 17 years old, would have stuck with me for a lifetime.
Everybody's anxiously awaiting to see how Brian Brown does today with Ranger boats and over $94,000 on the line. You're going to need 10.66. That means, Brian Brown, you're still leading the Tournament of Champions. I believe he was in 4th place going into today. From Brand, Minnesota, John Schley. Looks like you're going to need 18.87 to take the lead. You're going to end up at 17.75. Very close.
Close, yeah. It was. We had a couple of fish today that we could have really used, and if they'd have met us just halfway and at least grabbed our lures instead of jumping out of the water, it would have been great.
You need a little bit over 20 pounds to take the lead. It's locked in. You both just took the lead there.
All right, let's bring him up here from North St. Paul, Minnesota. Troy Barrett is going to need 21.52 pounds to take the lead. And we're going to end up at 21.86. This is your new tournament leader. And David, you end up taking over as your amateur leader. I have a feeling that things are heating up, and I don't think there's that many boats left here.
You've got 21.66.
Let's bring up the next set of anglers.
From Victoria, Minnesota, this is Chris Luedtke.
How are you feeling at this moment?
Today I'm feeling good. I did better than yesterday, and I just can't wait to get them on the scales and see what we got.
Everybody's probably just a little bit nervous to see where this is going to end up, Tommy. Ladies and gentlemen, 22.54 pounds for Chris yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs 22.83, 23.74. Your 2001 Minnesota Pro-Am Bass Tour Tournament of Champions champion. They don't get any better than this.
Hey, we had a great day today down Lake Minnetonka, catching a lot of largemouth bass. There's two things I want to share with you that really help out here on this lake. The first of them is a 3/4 ounce Stanley jig, and this 3/4 ounce is what punctures through the milfoil real good and gets to the bottom real fast. What we did was match it with a Gambler Ninja Claw trailer, which looks just like a crawdaddy out here. And this is what I caught a lot of my big fish on. After I caught the big fish, I went to another bait, which is what I caught most of my fish on this week, and that is a Gambler tube. And the special thing about a tube is that I use is a big, heavy, rattling 3/8 ounce Gambler worm weight with a 2-odd Mustad Megabite hook. And what I did is you rig it right through the top, and you puncture it out, and you lay it flat on the tube. And all you do is just barely skin hook it, just like that. So when a bass grabs it, all you have to do is bam, right there, he's got hooks. So that's what we did today out in Lake Minnetonka. And try those tricks, and you'll have a great success out here, too. Wow, Chipper, the first day of fall and it rolls in just like a lion, bringing nasty weather with it, but it didn't stop these anglers from holding a classic championship here at a really classy site, Maynard's on Lake Minnetonka.
I'll tell you what, they had to 4-wheel drive their way to the championship, qualifying through 5 events, and they showed they earned the right to be here, getting through these last 2 days' time. Best part is they caught incredible amounts of bass.
46 pounds and some change, we crowned a winner. Chris Luedtke, our professional champion for the Minnesota Fly and Bass Tour.
Amateur champion for us the last 2 days, Dave Sicheneder. Congratulations. You also get yourself a Ranger and Yamaha combo.
Awesome anglers and awesome viewership just like yourself. Turns out to be an awesome season. Thanks a lot for joining us for the 2001 Minnesota Fly and Bass Tour.